When local development was first emerged, two major characteristics were stressed. The fact that local development is endogenous, in other terms, leverages local resources, mobilize local resources, and two, that is incremental. In other terms, is additional. It can be brought to bear on on national development as an additionality, precisely because it mobilizes local resources. So, if we take the first two characteristics of local development, endogenous and incremental, and we add the two other dimensions which are stressed by the definition of territorial development. And these two other dimensions are the spatially integrated, the fact that development must be spatially integrated, and the fact that it must be multi-scalar. I mean, it happens at different scales, and there are connections, there are interactions between the different scales. By endogenous, we mean that local development brings, leverages resources of the locality of all sorts, particularly social capital, the ability of people to come together and self-help themselves, but really we are talking about all sorts of resources, physical, material, economic, institutional, social. So we have to understand this endogenous nature of local development and empower local authorities with the autonomy necessary to reach out to a range of other actors and leverage their resources. This is the very first point, and it's a traditional dimension of the local development concept. Then we have to understand the integrated nature of local development. What we need to do is to understand that local development is multi-dimensional, multi-sectoral, and therefore there is a need to integrate and coordinate the activity of multiple actors, not only the local governments, but the different agencies of the state and actors in the civil society and in the private sector. And again, local authorities would play a key role in providing the integration, the coordination of multiple sectoral interventions. We have then to understand this multi-scalar nature of local development, understanding that what happens at a particular level, a particular territorial scale, is influenced by what happens below and what happens above, and that there must be, to the extent that what happens below and what happens above is managed by other authorities, there must be mechanism for interaction and coordination and cooperation between different levels. And finally, again, we have to stress the incremental value of local development. This is a very important point. over the simple localization of national policies and programs. Local development, by leveraging local resources, brings them to bear on the national development effort as an additionality. So we will see that in what local authorities do, there is not just the dimension of improving the national program implementation in the locality, which improves the efficiency of the resources of the state, but there is this very important dimension of mobilizing additional resources. So the incrementality must be stressed. Okay, so we have this terminology more or less clarified. We understand this 4 dimension of local development. So we can now come to a definition of the territorial approach to local development as a national policy that recognizes that local development is not only endogenous and incremental, but also multi-scalar and spatially integrated, and recognizes the primary responsibility for planning, financing, and managing this local development as we have defined by local authorities, which are autonomous and accountable, which have which are empowered with the ability to as I say, leverage these resources and both improve the efficiency of national resources and generate new ones.